Clayton Kershaw now available? First question's from Alana Rizzo. Go ahead.
Clayton, you guys did such a great job of limiting Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado in terms of really any damage against you. In your opinion, what's the best way to attack Acuna as well as Freddie Freeman?
Yeah, the Braves have a great lineup. You know, it's somewhat similar to Padres. You know, 1 through 9, they can kind of beat you. So there's no real secret to it. You just try to make good pitches. You know, I think Acuna and Freddie obviously at the top, you know, really get them going. But, I mean, everybody's really swinging the bats well for them through Ozuna, d'Arnaud, all those guys. So it's definitely a good matchup for us. And, you know, it'll be a good challenge.
This pattern of Walker starting game 1 and you starting game 2 has really paid dividends for you guys. How much of a comfort knowing, you know, every time you're going to take the ball, when it's going to be for you and knowing exactly when you're going to be called upon?
Well, it just, yeah, you know, I think with Walker, you know, whatever his ability is to go deep into games or not, to have him going, and you know, it's gonna be a good outing. You know, we feel very confident with Walker and what he's doing, and you know, I'm feeling good right now too. And then we got a lot of other guys between Tony, D-May, Julio that can all throw the ball well. So we feel good 1 through 5 with our guys that, you know, in a 7-game series that we can do something good.
You also have an incredibly well-rested and talented bullpen. How much of a satisfaction is there in that, knowing that the arms that you may need to be called upon are still fresh and ready to go?
Yeah, you know, I think both teams coming into it are in a pretty good spot, obviously, with their bullpen, you know, only having to play 5 games so far. And, you know, their starting pitching has done well for them as well. So they got all their guys rested. So it's really both teams at their best, and it should be a fun series.
Thank you, Clayton.
Next question is from Dave Vasse. Go ahead.
Clayton, yesterday Walker said that, you know, your relationship with him has changed a little bit from his perspective, where he could joke around with you and get away with a little bit more now. How would you describe the way your relationship has evolved over the last couple of years with him?
That's different for Walker. No, I think, Walk's been awesome. You know, I think we've learned from each other, you know, a little bit. Just I like the way he goes about things, and I think it can kind of relax me at times just to see how he does it. And I think likewise for him, maybe I can give him a little bit more structure to what he does. And I think it's a good balance for both of us. But at the end of the day, you know, he goes out there and the way he competes, you know, obviously his stuff separates himself, but he's a very, very good competitor on the mound. And at the end of the day, the conviction that he has is what separates him. So, you know, off the field wise, yeah, I think it's been great for both of us. And I like watching him throw.
Thank you.
Next question is from John Morosi. Go ahead.
Thanks, Clayton. Max Fried has talked about his admiration for you and growing up a Dodger fan himself. How would you describe what you've seen from him just from a distance here the last few years?
Yeah, he's, you know, I've heard about him, you know, when he was in the minor leagues, and, you know, watching him pitch, it's really good. You know, I remember when I was coming up, I didn't have the pitches that he had. And, you know, I like watching him throw against the teams that I'm about to face and things like that. You know, he's evolved a lot. You know, he's fastball, curveball, but, you know, he's got that slider now that he's working with. That's a great pitch for him. And he's throwing the changeup, throws the 2-seamer. So, he's evolved a lot in his time in the big leagues, and he's gotten a lot better. And I've heard nothing but good things about his work ethic. And I mean, the school that he went to in LA is about, you know, 15 minutes from my house. So I heard about him a lot, and he's fun to watch.
Next question is from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Hey, Clayton, after that last start against San Diego, you mentioned that the slider wasn't quite where you wanted it. Just wondering if that's a feel thing that night, or, you know, are you trying to find something between starts to get it to where you want it to be?
Yeah, you try to do both. You know, obviously you don't know how it's going to come out the night of the game, but definitely try and work on things in between starts to make sure it's there.
Any idea how many friends and family members are going to try to come to these games, particularly tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we'll have a few tonight, and then they didn't announce the game times till like, I don't know, an hour ago. So just depending on people can get off work and things like that, but we'll definitely have some tickets in the stands for sure.
Will it make things any different knowing that you got friends and family in the crowd?
I think just fans in general, yeah, it makes it different. You know, to be able to have some fans in the stands will be, I think it'll be a welcome sight for everybody just to make it feel kind of normal again.
And lastly, did you catch the Lakers game last night?
I did not, no, but obviously very happy for them and for the city of LA. It's pretty cool to see what they were able to do. And, man, they spent 93 days in that bubble, so I'm glad they won. That's a long time in that thing. So I'm just happy for them. And, it's very cool to, be in the same city as that. It's pretty special.
Thank you.
Next question's from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead.
Talking to Justin Turner yesterday about the 7 games, no off days format this round, he said he likes it because it forces teams to show their depth, and you can't ride, say, 3 starters like some teams have in the past. What do you think of the format?
I mean, he's right. I think you're going to use everybody. 7 games, 7 days. There's not too many guys that can just throw 7 straight days. So, it's going to be taxing for both sides, especially the bullpens. But, like JT said, we feel good about, our guys 1 through 28. And that's going to be we think that's a strength of ours. And as far as what I think about it, I don't know. I mean, I guess I think it's favorable to us, so I like it.
Thanks.
A question from Rowan Kavner. Go ahead.
Hey, Clayton, when you haven't pitched against a team in a season, especially like in a series like this, are you able to draw on previous, even years against players at all, or is it just so different from year to year?
Yeah, usually pretty different. I don't really look too much about what I've done against guys personal history wise. I think there needs to be some recency bias as far as what they've done in the box and things like that. But obviously we faced these guys 2 years ago in the playoffs, but they have some of the same guys, but obviously there's a lot of guys different. So not a whole lot you can glean from that. But try to watch what they've done the past month or so, see what they're doing, and try to adjust accordingly.
Any other questions for Clayton?